Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. It's Monday, the 23rd of December. I'm your host, Sean Higgs. As always, Doug Upstone Chip Chirimbes on a Money Monday, talking some NBA. Listen, we're 1-2 in the picks here last week, 8-12 with the freebies, but these are just the free picks. Listen, I say this all the time. Like, subscribe, notification bell on, so you know we do our free pick videos all week long. Me, Doug, Chip, Paul, Jim, Scott Pritchard, Matt Fargo, Jim Feist, Brian Biller, Mark Lawrence, Victor King. We got you covered a lot of free picks. Live show on Football Fridays, live show Player Prop on Mondays. But this is all the free kind of stuff. Head on over to our sponsor, gamblersWORLD.net, where you find NBA like Chip Chirimbes, Mr. NBA, Mr. Cold Cash on the Ice, Doug Upstone. We got a leaderboard there, win or lose, always the truth, no hiding from the records. They're all posted for you. We got the 12 days of deals going, and we're wrapping this up. We're putting a bow on it because Christmas is on Wednesday, so obviously more deals. But we got a good one here going on. It's sort of like a buy one, get one. We had the BOGO going the other day. This is you buy a 7-day pass, you get 10 days. So you go all the way to the new year. Comes out to less than $20 a day. Make the smart money move. Bowl games, NFL, hello, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Days and days of NFL. Bowl games and playoff games. Hockey, limited college hoops, NBA. Make the smart money move. Get that 10 days for $7 steal. That's a steal of a deal. You can't beat that one because most of us will have more than one game up per day this time of year. I mean, we got bowl games going on right now. There's a game going on. That's just the way it is this time of year. Great. We got midnight basketball in Hawaii. I mean, what is there to say? What is there to say except Doug Upstone's got an awesome shirt on today. What a sweater. What a festive sweater.
He's very seasonal.
The tree's the only thing getting lit this year. There you go, this guy. He's had tune-up. He's going to have a little eggnog spiked up like Clark Griswold, having a good time.
I think it's kind of modest for him, really, But
all things considered, I would agree.
I want the reindeer. The reindeer going across it.
I would agree. I
had a crazy shirt back in a crazy sweater with reindeers doing some not nice things to each other.
Sean.
But it was funny. That's because I'm a
holiday spirit, right? Is that what that was about?
Yes. They were in the holiday spirit of procreating.
A company Christmas party.
Doug, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I didn't do. What did I do? The college football was even. Okay, so nothing out of the ordinary there. Let's see here. NBA was good. College basketball won overall, and hockey. I don't know what else to say about hockey. It just continues to roll. 42-20 since October 16th. So that was good. Oh, and in the NFL, the best bet winner. Uncomfortable winner, as it turned out. I gave the show pick turned into my best bet, which was on Indianapolis. Okay, only ahead 38-7, and had to sweat out the bringing that home. And then what was the other? Oh, Cincinnati had a nice winner with Cincinnati. And then I know Chip is smiling on this. I wasn't, but I had Philadelphia, and not only did I have Philadelphia one way. I also, even myself personally, I had bet them in a teaser where I had +2.5. Okay. And boom. Okay. On that one. But Chipper's smiling as well. He should, because he ended up being on the right side of it somehow. But I have one other little note I can mention about this, because I was so curious and I was also so angry, about that, because I knew I should have gone 3-0. But the a team that has 5 turnovers in a game and trails in the game by 14 or more points in the since 1970 is 3, or going into yesterday was 3-204, and they covered 6 spreads. Okay, well now they're 4-204.
It was definitely a interesting weekend of football. We had the playoffs, which were really not interesting at all.
Certainly were.
We could say, well, if this team was in instead of that team, you don't know that. You don't know what's going to happen. We've had blowouts and beatdowns in these bowl games before. So to say like, well, they shouldn't have been in. SMU, you catch that pass on fourth down, it changes the whole aspect of the game. You got a couple defense. I'm not impressed with Penn. I'm going to pick Boise. And for Alabama, you're like, well, we would have did better. Well, really, you lost to that Tennessee team that got absolutely trucked out of the gate by Ohio State. That game wasn't even close. And people are going to complain like, we need more SEC teams? Okay. We need more mediocre teams. Isn't that what we're trying to get away from?
Yeah, well, you know what, Sean, to your point, I think people need to decide what they want. Okay. You either want, okay, a system that rewards winning, okay, despite what Herb Street says, but a system that rewards winning, because at the beginning of the season, you have no idea what their schedule is or isn't. I mean, you can see the teams, you can speculate, which everybody does, and so do the odds makers on the season win totals. So you can go that direction, okay, or you could just take the 12 best, in this case, the 12 best teams. And if that's the case, then you're going to, in terms of who are literally the 12 best teams, there might be one from the ACC, there might be two from the Big 12, and all the rest are in the Big 10 and the SEC. Okay, I mean, that's how it is. That's how it's set up. That's how it's going to be going forward, because that's where the money is. These are the teams that have the most money to spend to get players. So if that's the case, so my thought is either keep it the way it is, find improvements, or let's not call it the college football playoffs anymore. Let's call it the SEC Big 10 College Football Invitational. Okay?
Yeah.
They each get 4, and the rest of the country gets 4 other teams.
That's what it was. As soon as they made this, that's exactly what it was going to be. And forget about getting 4. SEC is going to have 8. If they had their way, South Carolina would be in there. Texas A&M would be in there. LSU would be in. I mean, they'd all be in there. They'd be making well, and that's why it comes out when they had these preseason polls in August, and you got 8 teams from the like Ole Miss is in here, and Arkansas makes it a 25. That's all for at the end of the year when they do this crap. Well, you lost to a team and they were ranked at the beginning of the season. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Can we have a record? Can a team actually win some games? It always surprised me. Like I like, I'm a Hurricane fan, old school guy. And the fact that they somehow came out of nowhere to win that title back in 84? Schellenberger won in 84?
Yeah, sounds right.
Right? Like they were not some powerhouse to even be ranked. They would be like a Boise team, right? Like, how did they even get in a conversation back then to come in and actually win and they had a loss. They lost their first game and won the championship. Playing whoever they played. That team would never be nowhere today. That would be nowhere. No, I'm sorry, guys. You're TCU in 2006 when you're undefeated. You're out of the playoff. Sorry.
Chip, what do you think?
Yeah. I think I'm waiting for someone to ask me how I did this weekend.
Oh, we'll get to you now. Oh my God! All right, Chip, go ahead. So, I mean, we're in the conversation. You could always jump in. You got no problem talking about 1937
I told you about it. I didn't think that the Boise or Arizona State were worthy of a bye, and if Boise gets beat by UNLV, they don't even make the playoffs. So there's plenty of glitches out there, and we've discussed that for sure. But as far as my weekend goes, it was a great weekend in bowl playoffs because, I've been called the big game player, and here's the reason why. Notre Dame, Megabuck winner, game of the year, Ohio State. And it hasn't been any different in the NBA. We're now 10-1 with our Megabuck plays. Got beat in college for the first time over the weekend, 8-1 with the Megabucks, and it just keeps rolling along. That's how my weekend was, Sean. Thank you very much. And as far as the playoffs are concerned, just give me more games. I want to bet them.
I mean, you get I don't like more. It's going to be the NCAA tournament at this point.
I don't care. You have a line on it. There's got to be a winner.
Yeah, but at this point, there's no more bowl games because you have to start these tournament games in December. So no conference championships. I guess you can lose that because you'll grab some ridiculous bowl game between Arkansas and Kansas State. That'll be what you're betting on on
But
Thanksgiving weekend.
the whole state of college football it's in a terrible state. I mean, you've got guys coming in that are leaving for the NIL in the middle of the season. They're coming to the bowl games. They're not playing. They're opting out. Teams can't even go to bowl games because so many players are leaving. They got to change the date for the NIL being able to go to the transfer portal till after January 3rd. So all these guys will play in the bowl games. And, I was wondering, why isn't the sponsor or these people that are already NIL, shouldn't they be compelled to play in the bowl game for their sponsor? I would imagine. So, you can't allow these people to leave in a portal come December 1st. These guys got to be after the bowl games. So that's my thoughts about that.
I had Army minus 9.5 against Marshall. The line goes to 17. Marshall bows out. I got Coastal Carolina plus 7. 26 guys in the portal.
Yeah.
They don't bow out.
No.
The line goes to 14, and I'm taking a loss today. But 8-3 since last Friday with college football. I'm not too bad.
Army would have been one of the best bets of I don't care how much you had to lay after the way they got beat by Navy. I would have laid anything with that team coming into the bowl game, but I think this changes everything.
Yeah, it's different as. I mean, the other team would be excited to play. Now you're laying 17. I can't get into that game now.
Yep.
My weekend, hey, NFL, another, I think 5-6 weekend. That there we go. I'm 75 and 81 or 83, something like that. I can't get over the hump in NFL. College football winning weekend. I'm number 1 in wins. I think I got, what do I have, 100-something wins in college football. I think I'm number 3 or 4 in the money though, because straight shooter there. You may be number 1 in NBA, Chip, but you can't beat my 60%. I am 6-4 with NBA, people. 10 whole games. That's like
60%.
That is, see, my basketball season is like a chip night in the NBA. Like, college basketball, I have an 8-pack going or something on a day. But man, NBA, good. I tell you every time we do a show, Chip, you're still number. I am. That is impressive. Forget about people say like NFL's tough because there's a certain amount of games once a week. NBA, I think, is the toughest, and you're killing it. I mean, I tell you that every time we do the show on Monday, I'm like, that to me has always been a sport I have trouble with because of, especially nowadays, the load.
I have one big philosophy in the NBA, and that's something Larry Ness once said to me, my dearly departed friends. He said, just remember, the officials are there to see to it that the players have nothing to do with the outcome of the game.
You're 100% right. That isn't changing 40 years.
If you look at it that way, it may work out better.
All right, so we got some NBA on tap here tonight. A weird week of not only videos here for us, but just in general with the NBA, and all sports. It's a holiday week, and I don't know about you guys. I kind of like the shorter schedule sometimes. Gives you a little, not a total breather, but it's enough time where you don't have to sit for hours on end taking care of business. You'd be like, you know what? One college football game take. NFL, NFL you shouldn't be spending hours on. We already know that kind of stuff. But I like a nice little laid back week every once in a while because it'll be full blown at the end. New Year changes and we got 75 college basketball games today. You're like, oh my goodness, here we go again. But we're going to start with Chip here. Yep. The Suns and the Denver Nuggets. I believe these guys play again on Christmas as well.
Right.
I mean, we got a couple teams that are playing these home and home kind of games. The Suns catching 6.5 tonight in Denver, total of 233. Looks like Booker's questionable. I'm guessing he's out at a 6.5. I don't like to assume because it makes a as out of you and me.
Yeah.
I kind of like the dog here. Both of these teams, ho-humming it, 14-13, 15-11, not really separating themselves. The Nuggets are a team that always kind of just plays toward let's get to the playoffs nowadays since they won the championship. I would be leaning towards the doggy here, but I'm bringing in the NBA champion, Mr. Chips himself, Mr. Hoops. Chip Chirimbes, what do you like?
I think this game could be considered a play, even though I have a huge winner tonight in NBA action. It's the only game I've actually put out there, and it's all there for you right now. Both these teams are kind of disappointing, I think, so far. Denver at 15-11, a little slow start. They seem to have turned it around. And Phoenix, of course, have been dealing with injuries. Booker's out. Durant's in and out. Phoenix comes off losing 2 games to 2 sub-par 500 teams at home. And they're going to Denver here. I think they're supposed to shore up and play some basketball. The Nuggets have gone over 17 out of 25 games. And I just think the fact that the Suns lost those 2 home games against 2 clubs that are under 500, they'll come out a little bit better here.
Yeah, you're playing a good team.
No.
Why not? Let's go. This is where the stars you think shine against good competition.
The problem with Phoenix is they're only 9-18 against the number so far,
Yes.
And Denver isn't that much better. They're 10-15. So they both haven't played or performed to bookmakers' expectations. That's for sure. But I think this is the first meeting of the year. The Suns won both games last year. I'm going to come with the Suns again.
Suns plus 6.5. Official Monday pick here for Chip Chirimbes on the channel. Listen, this is his free pick. He just mentioned he's got a big play going today.
Right.
Go get it at gamblersworld.net. Get your winner, Chip Chirimbes, Mr. NBA. Doug, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, well, living here in the Valley of the Sun, I guess a lot of people, I don't know why would they be surprised that they brought in Beal and they brought in Durant, thinking that they had the team. Okay, and so, but as has been the case with now all three of them, they're never on the floor at the same time, or seldom on the floor at the same time. And we got the same thing going tonight. Devin Booker's out with a groin injury. So we got Beal and Durant, it just goes on and on. And this team, even more so, well, actually both teams, they're not playing a lick of defense lately. In their last 5 games, the teams have on average given up 118 to 120 points per game. Denver, to me, is back to being the old Denver Nuggets, okay, before they won the championship. And what team was that? It was a team that tried to outscore the opposition and had little to do with defending them. They are up to number 3 in points. And yesterday, good example, they played the New Orleans Pelicans. In regulation time before winning, they gave up 119 points to a sorry New Orleans team. And why is that? Why does that matter? Well, if you look at the previous 20 games that the Pelicans had played, they had failed to score 119 in all but one of them. And guess who was the one team that scored more than that? Can I have a drum roll, please? No, none coming. Okay, sorry about that. No drum roll. Well, it was the Phoenix Suns. Okay, that's who they played. So that's where they scored. So you said 233.5. Suns 10-2 over on the road. Denver 12-2 over after a victory. I think it's going to go over the total today. And I'll give you, though, on the presumption that I'm correct, I would go under the total Christmas night when they play.
There you go. Yeah, come back after a high-scoring game. Let's come back on opposite the next game. Doug likes the over tonight, 233. Official show pick from number 1 NBA capper Chip Chirimbes is on the Phoenix Suns plus 6.5. Again, head to gamblersworld.net. Get Chip's top play today, or get 10 days for 7 because he's doing well in all sports. I don't know we had his numbers scrolling across there. What are we talking about? Up 10,000 on his plays. It's right there, documented for you. That's pretty good.
NFL, we're 5-1-1 this week in the NFL, so kind of happy with that too. So.
He's hitting on all cylinders right now. 10 days for the price of 7, less than $20. I think it's like $17 a day. Do it, folks. Put that bow into your Christmas tree and then load it up with cash money from Chip Chirimbes. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Doug Upstone is going to put a topper on your Christmas tree here. He's got his crazy Christmas tree shirt on. We love it. And we're going to get lit with another winner here. The Pacers and the Warriors. Indiana, 5.5-point dog total, 230.5 here. I'm not a big Warrior guy. I like to fade the Warriors, Lakers, like just the big name teams, but they're kind of getting old. Green is out. Curry's had some nice moments. They're working in some young. When I say working younger guys, they're getting away from just him being the be-all for the team. I'm a dog. I want to take a dog in this one again. The Pacers to me are kind of like one of those scrap teams that you like the under in the other, or the over another game. I sort of like the over in this one because I think it's going to be a let's run it around kind of game here. I lean that way, but again, this is your free pick. I got 10 games bet all season in the NBA, folks, so I'm not some – Doug, take it away.
Yeah, the Pacers, had suffered some injuries early in the season, and it just seemingly really threw off the continuity of what they're trying to do. But of late, they have gone back to playing team basketball as opposed to playing 5 individuals. And so they're on runs of 4-0 and 5-1 straight up and against the spread. So that's been good. And the straight up winner of their game is 10-0 against the spread. So Golden State, I thought, got off to kind of a shocking start to their season. They played way better, I think, than anyone would have anticipated. But they have cooled off like a Midwestern Christmas Eve evening, 3-9 straight up. Okay, most recently. Their incredibly stout defense has fallen from number 3 in defensive efficiency down to number 8. Now, there's nothing wrong with number 8, but when you've fallen that far, that makes a difference. Indy did play yesterday, so that you have to take that into consideration. But here's something to keep in mind: when a team like the like the Pacers, have beaten the spread by 6 or more points in 3 consecutive games, facing an opponent that has been beaten by the spread by 18 or more points in total over 3 games, they are 55-24 against the spread, covering by almost 5 points a game. Let's take the points, 5.5 with Indiana on Monday night.
Pacers plus 5.5. I agree. Official play here. Doug Upstone, Pacers plus 5.5. Chip Chirimbes, thoughts on this one?
My first thought is I don't know how I can keep up with Doug's analogies because they're they're much too sophisticated for me. Number one, Indiana has won 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two, and Doug, you pointed to the fact that Golden State started off so well, 12-3, gone 3-9 ever since. I'm taking a coward's way out because I always just say to people when they bet totals that they didn't have the standings, if you know what I mean. They didn't have the balls to bet the side. He didn't want to take a side, so he'd root for either side to score or for either side not to score. I'm going over. Indiana and Golden State to go over.
Yeah, you brought up the 12-3. I remember starting out and people were like, "Oh, look at it, Golden State's back. You got to worry about." Yeah, okay. Well, this is the kind of team they are.
Long season.
It's a long season, and you got some older cats that are still the face of your franchise to carry your team, and some not underperforming, but guys who are maybe getting their shot finally. This is not 2017, folks. This is not a championship team, Warriors fans. I'm sorry, folks. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. You guys won a couple championships. What the hell? You going to win forever? No. Pacers plus 5.5. Now, I got a team that's been pretty good for the season. They started out hot, and they're still pretty good. The Boston Celtics. Are they a good team? Laying a 10 spot here to the Magic on the road, total of 215. Now, we saw some 230s. We're going a totally different direction with this one here. A 213 clip here. Now, for me, the Celtics, you're definitely playing the winner's tax on them, right? They're 11-17 against the spread. Mm-hmm. Anytime I can't just in good conscience. This is like NFL. Are we laying 10? You're not laying with double digits with teams on the road. That's not going to put money in your pocket in the long run. I got to take the Magic here. I know their guy is hurt. I forget his name, but you know what? They're good at home. They got problems. But the Celtics are 3-7 against the spread their last 10, so they're always going to get bloated up. And you start missing guys, that line is always going to get juiced up. Last year, these guys played close games against each other. Give me the Magic. You're giving me a team at home 10. And we just said the Warriors, right? It's like the Curry. You got guys, Durant and Beal and Booker. That's not like that in Orlando, right? You got a young guy who's supposed to be good, then he's out. You get another guy who's good, he's hurt. It's more of a team kind of thing. So I'm going to rally around the team concept here, especially the holidays and families together. Give me the guys that are not – we don't have a shot. You're 10-point underdogs. You're 11-2 at home. You're 18-12. I know you've struggled a little bit later. You give me 10 points? Get out of here. Give me the Magic plus 10. I won't be shocked if the Magic win this one outright here. The Celtics, as good as they are, I can see them just coming in one day and just laying it out. They got a home game coming up again on Christmas, I believe, if my memory serves, I think. But I got to pull up the Christmas schedule here. Home versus Philly. Forget it. This is a game I can see them going through the motions. Too many points to cover. Give me the Magic plus the 10. Chip Chirimbes.
Yes.
What do you think about Magic plus 10?
I think this is my Ross Benjamin game of the day. And and if you remember, Ross Benjamin used to say, the bookie's not your friend. And when I saw this line at 10.5, my first thought was, boy, that's an awful lot of points to give Orlando. And then I looked closer at it, and I see that Boston is 11-17 against the number. And I'm going, how could this Celtic team, the way they're playing, be laying 10.5 on the road, although they are 11-2 straight up on the road? And I just thought it was way too many points, and my first instinct was to lay it. as opposed to take it. I'm not using the game. I don't like laying these kind of numbers. Like you said, you're not going to make a living laying double digits on the road in the NBA. But that was my first instinct, is that I would lean toward the Celtics on the game because it looks easy to take the Magic. To me, it looks inviting to take the Magic, particularly if you're looking at the point spread records. Magic are 17-12, and here's Celtics are 11-17. So I'm the Antichrist on this one, Sean. I'm sorry.
Okay. Listen, as Doug said when I said you got a couple guys out, they got a bunch of guys out. Banchero, Wagner, Suggs, the other Wagner, they got some. They're banged up and guys are out, which could explain it. But again, I still like him as a home dog. The points are there though, like you said. The Russos, you say, they don't hang lines. If it looks too good to be true or whatever, they make good lines. And I always say, like, they get their food airdropped in on Caribbean islands, and hi, we're in the desert somewhere. We need electricity and water. They somehow survive $1 billion buildings. So it's never as easy as it looks. That's for sure. Yeah. Doug, your thoughts on this one? Why do I feel like you're going to say get away from the Magic to me?
I'm not going to say that. Well, Chip just brought up before. If you don't have a side, you're going a little chicken and you're going to the total. Well, I'm going to go chicken crap, okay, and go even further away from that.
Team total.
I'm on a team total in this one.
Okay? But you can root for somebody on a team total.
You can. Okay. So as you mentioned, Magic missing Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner. Come on now. Come on, Sean. Wagner. Got to get that right. Okay. Get that V in there. Scratch the W. And then Saturday, one of the most productive players coming off the bench in the NBA, I believe it's Moritz Wagner, suffered an ACL out for the year. Okay. So team total opened at 218. I've seen it as low as 213 earlier. Saw some 214 just before the show. You still got Jalen Suggs and Gary Harris questionable. I think Harris actually might be out now. In Orlando's last 6 games, they've scored under 100 points 3 times. In Boston's last half dozen starts, they have given up less than 100 points 3 times. So for me, I'm going to go under the Magic of 101 for the 101.5 for their total.
Under team total 105 makes sense. You're missing guys. Your leading scorers are all out. Could get ugly. That's for sure. I like ugly. I wake up every morning. I wash my face. I see this giant cantaloupe head. It's something I deal with every day. Magic plus 10 for me here. And you got the funny thing is, you're like, we're gonna stay away from totals, and you both like you sort of like the overs on the other ones. Even though we took some dogs, we dogged it up here. It is a Monday. It's a dog day afternoon here, or a dog day evening for sure on the podcast. Suns plus 6.5, Chip Chirimbes. Pacers plus 5.5, Doug Upstone. I like the Magic plus 10. Again, these are our free picks. gamblersworld.net for all of the premium plays. The 9th day of Christmas deal is buy a 7-day package, get 10. That's basically to the end of this year. All plays included. College football bowls, college football playoffs, NFL, NBA, NHL. Who knows? Maybe there's a pickleball tournament. I have no idea. With golf, it's on there. Today is the 23rd of December. Chip Chirimbes. It's an odd day, but I don't know. I think I saw something about the Immaculate Reception could have been today.
Exactly. I was going to get to that, but as far as sports are concerned, I mean, 2 days before Christmas is kind of a slow day. In the past, the colleges never would play during this week, and the pros, they were different. They're pros. But on this date in 1951, the first nationally televised NFL championship game was played between the Rams and the Cleveland Browns. And we had mentioned before how Cleveland had come from the American Conference and into the NFL. And the Rams won this one 24-17 at the LA Coliseum. It was the first time that a championship game had been televised nationally. And the fact that it came from LA made it kind of interesting to most people because it's so beautiful out there during the winter time if you're back east. I mean, all you want to do is move. But like you said, the Immaculate Reception in 1972, probably the most famous controversial play in the history of the NFL because they still talk about it. 7-6 is the score as I guess it was Oakland was defeating Pittsburgh and who was it? Atkinson and one of these other great hitters for the Oakland Raiders smacked the receiver. Franco Harris apparently picked the ball up before it hit the ground and scampered into the end zone for a 13-7 win. But they still don't have an actually definitive video of him.
There's no video. Yes.
No definitive of him catching the ball before. But hey, no one saw it hit the ground. That's one thing about when outfielders in baseball. You can't call the guy safe until you see the ball actually hit the ground. But touchdown, and I love it. That happened on this date, 1972.
I saw a video because it was on Twitter, and they have the end zone view, and where he goes to grab it, it's the goalpost,
right?
And then the two, and it's not like CGI. I mean, you've seen this. How many? That was 1972. We've been seeing this for years and years and years. In the side views, it's he hits him, and the next thing you know, he's running with the ball. You think
I had the wrong side. I had the loser on that ball game.
You would think if it hit the ground, the Raiders would have been pointing. There's no sideline footage of them saying
didn't give up a touchdown that whole game. They give up 2 field goals and then a free play, and the game's over and they lose. But they could put up another 3 points themselves, I guess.
In today's game, you've seen this in past. It hits the ground. You kind of see the players are watching, like, oh no, they're hitting the ground, hit the ground. Yeah. No one complained. No one said anything. I think he caught it. We don't know.
Oh, I think he caught it.
No one complained that he missed it on the Raiders. You think he missed it?
I don't think he caught it, but I remember watching the game distinctly. Okay, and to this day, but it's also interesting that 2 of the most controversial plays in NFL playoff history both involve the Raiders. Okay?
The tuck play got to be the tuck play.
It's got to be the tuck rules, the other one. Okay, and
that was ridiculous.
Any Raider fan of which these days I'm embarrassed to say, but as anybody that has liked the Raiders over all these years, 0 for 2, and so I don't know. And then if you watch that thing with Brady and Charles Woodson, that's really interesting and telling in terms of Brady's reaction to what happened, because Brady didn't say that he didn't do it. He just said that's what the call was, and that's all that matters.
Now he admits he thinks he believes he fumbled, but there was one other one with the Raiders where there was a rule change, and that was when Stabler fumbled the ball forward, and then Casper pushed it forward, and they had to change that rule on 4th down.
I remember that game too.
The Raiders involved in all 3. Al Davis would do anything to get a win, I guess.
San Diego Chargers. Yes, remember that game.
Brady fumbled that. I had the Raiders in that game. That was an absolute fumble.
Yes,
I was negative. I was negative 2 for the Immaculate Conception, Immaculate Reception. All right, listen, folks. Suns plus 6.5, Pacers plus 5.5, Magic plus 10 are our 3 free picks here on the Winner Circle podcast today. Premium picks at gamblersworld.net. Plenty of deals for you. 10 days for the price of 7. We have our daily pass, $69.99. The NFL end of season pass is still up. We got a bowl package up. Plenty of picks for you. Chip Chirimbes, number 1 NBA. He's got you covered today with a premium play. Go get that one. Doug Upstone, I'm guessing get some. What do you got tonight? Anything before we head out of here?
Yes, I do have an NBA game, and I was wondering before I say that, I just wanted to say, Chip has been able to go deeper into cards. So than I have been in looking at games. So I have one play, and him saying you just have one play then today, Chip?
One single play. I tell you the truth, I could release it as big as you want to play is the way I feel about it.
It's 13 games today, and I had the exact same thing. I mean, even to find, for me at least, even to find the one was not easy. I mean, that to be kind of.
I didn't want to denigrate it by giving out anything else. That's the way I feel about it. You know what? If I put out another game and I just feel like this game's a winner. I call myself the A play, the single strongest play on the board. I think this is one of the single strongest play I've seen this absolute season. I wish I had time to promote it, but I love this game tonight.
Go for it. Promote it away, fella.
Log on, follow the buy links, become an A play winner.
There you go. For Chip Chirimbes, Doug Upstone, myself, back tomorrow with Chip and Matt Fargo. Tonight, 7 p.m., the live show. Some player props from Monday Night Football. If you're around, I will be there. Hit the notification bell. Good luck, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.